Ladies and gentlemen, I'm indeed very pleased to join you today as we mark the beginning of yet another major milestone in our journey as a country to sustainable growth and development. Ladies and gentlemen, it was barely 4 months ago, on the 7th of August this year, when we all witnessed flames that engulfed and threatened our vision of this airport being the aviation hub for the region and indeed the gateway to Africa. I want to take this opportunity to commend and indeed to pay tribute to the gallant effort by all Kenyans who contributed immensely to the rapid turnaround and restoration of JKIA back to business. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the various nations across the globe, as well as bilateral and multilateral partners, for their support during what was indeed a very difficult time. Rising out of those ashes, we now have a new temporary terminal with a capacity of 2.5 million people. We have a Terminal 4 that we expect to come on stream by the end of this month, December 2013, and also begin the process of revamping our Terminals 1, 2, and 3. Airports today, ladies and gentlemen, are important vehicles for propelling economic growth. An airport being the first point of contact by visitors, be they tourists, businessmen and women. And the airport has a lot to tell about the community and country in which it is located. It can therefore influence positively or negatively the level of foreign direct investment and indeed the number of people wishing to visit a country. This is why, as a government, and aware that globalization is continuing to take hold, we are taking bold steps to modernize our airports and other aviation infrastructure. Keeping our country competitive is paramount, and hence the need to modernize our infrastructure. My administration is keenly aware of the aviation infrastructure deficit that currently exists not only in Kenya, but also on our continent. Without sufficient aviation infrastructure, our region will remain unexploited and expensive for commerce and business. To this end, my government is committed to making the necessary investment in aviation infrastructure so that the sector can play its rightful role in boosting the growth of our economy. The construction of this new greenfield terminal, with a capacity to handle more than 20 million passengers, and eventually a second runway that is planned for this airport, will enable Kenya attain her National Vision 2030 aspirations to be a middle-income country. In addition to the increased capacity, this airport will provide airlines with the services they require for efficient operations, speed and comfort for their passengers. As a country, our intention is to make Jomo Kenyatta International Airport the most convenient, comfortable, and secure airport in Africa. Our intention is to make this airport among the world-class airports of the world. What we are embarking on is a project aimed at transforming traveling through JKIA to make it a pleasurable experience. For our transit passengers, the airport design has incorporated facilities for leisure such as spas, business, and tranquility, amongst others. In addition to the increased passenger capacity, this greenfield development will also increase our cargo handling capacity to cement Kenya's position as the leading airport in terms of cargo throughout the African continent. To enhance that role and position, the Kenya Airports Authority plans to develop a special economic zone within the airport area for the maintenance of goods that can be easily transported, for the manufacture of goods that can easily be transported by air. I would like indeed to emphasize at this juncture that we expect the execution of those plans to be fast-tracked and implemented. I am aware that as part of this airport development, the road and rail infrastructure around it will be built or improved to ensure that users of the airport are able to access inexpensive, frequent, and convenient means of transport to and from the airport. Safety and security of passengers is a primary concern to us, and therefore, as we construct this airport, we are also investing as part of the project in the best security systems available. We are very well aware of the need for us to be alert and well prepared to repulse any eventuality. This is a matter the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure and our security agencies should seriously contemplate and act on. We must at all times ensure safety and security of all our transport systems. In this regard, I am directing that the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure to ensure that all encroachments around our airports and other strategic transport and infrastructure installations are indeed removed. Ladies and gentlemen, the need to upgrade our airport is made even more urgent by the demand for its services by global airlines, and in particular, our national carrier, Kenya Airways. Kenya Airways embarked on its 10-year business plan last year, and we have witnessed their seriousness in increasing the number of aircraft they operate. My government will therefore remain committed towards improving the existing infrastructure and provide an efficient, conducive, and enabling environment to facilitate Kenya Airways and other local airlines to invest in order to create wealth and empower our people. This is one of the ways we will facilitate both internal and external trade and the movement of people by facilitating the connection of Kenya to Africa and the rest of the world. Africa has historically missed out on development opportunities due to inadequate investment in transport infrastructure or reliance on pre-independence infrastructure. As Kenyans, we must now get it right. Last week, we launched the construction of the standard gauge railway line from Mombasa through to Uganda, Rwanda, and South Sudan, which when completed will radically enhance the flow of people and cargo to and from these states, and indeed, as I said in Mombasa, with a connection from Taveta to Moshi, completely connect this region. When the East African community implements the Common Market Protocol to facilitate the free movement of goods and people in the region, what will be required is an efficient transport system to enable our citizens to leverage the benefits of our community for their social and economic empowerment. As we are all aware, the East African region has a combined population of more than 150 million people with ever-increasing disposable incomes. This presents a great opportunity for our country. I expect the Kenya Airports Authority to work closely with all carriers, including those from our region, to unlock the value of the investments we are making in our airports. I expect you to ensure that Kenya is the most attractive air transport hub of the continent, if not globally. I have previously said, and wish to repeat again, the foundation on which we build our economic growth is discipline, efficiency, and devotion to our development agenda. For the management of Kenya Airports Authority and Board, this airport cannot be run on business as usual basis. It needs to be run as a commercial hub, guided by business principles underpinning competition. All our airports must be operated to the highest standards possible. I therefore challenge the board and management to develop visionary and bold business plans for our airport and aviation infrastructure across the country. I also expect this facility indeed to be completed on time, within budget, and to world-class standards. It is therefore my expectation that in 2016, we will be back here again to open the facility and to inaugurate its use. Ladies and gentlemen, and especially those specifically tasked with this project, I wish you the very best as we embark on this challenging and important project. Let me say also that we all acknowledge the importance of infrastructure for our economic development agenda. And I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody, the parliamentary committees and members of parliament, for their own commitment and how well they have worked with the necessary authorities, the ministries concerned, because infrastructure is not for us. Infrastructure is for the future. As Raila said, when the British first came here over 120 years ago plus, the first thing they did was to lay infrastructure with a clear idea that this was going to be how they will exploit their economic opportunities available here. We need now also to recognize that the way for the next 50 years that we too shall be able to exploit the great opportunities that this country and region has is by having a first-class infrastructure. And I join the Honorable Raila Odinga in saying this is not about politics. This is about the future of this country. This is about the prosperity of all, and we need to work hand in hand to ensure that these projects and programs are indeed executed efficiently, on time, and within budget. This is the only way we shall truly develop, create jobs for our people, and increase prosperity for all Kenyans wherever they may be. So you have my commitment and the commitment of my government that this is going to be an area that we shall focus on. And those involved, please know that we are keeping a very close eye on you. We expect you to give your full commitment to these particular projects and programs, and we expect them to be concluded on time. In conclusion, once again, I'd also like to thank all our partners who have worked alongside us and who continue to work with us. The African Development Bank, the World Bank, the European Investment Bank, People's Republic of China. You have been great partners, and we look forward to continue to work with you in that spirit and to ensure that we are able to attain our development goals and agenda. With those few and many remarks, tumewashukuru sana. Wacha kazi sasa ianze. Sasa ni kuanza, sio kwenda. Sasa hii ni kuanza, inaanza. And as I say that, as we mark our 50 years, and again in recognition that for those 50 years, a lot of work has been done. There's things that we need to be proud of as Kenyans. We shouldn't always just continue to to put ourselves down. We have done a lot of great things. And as part of the program that we've been rolling out, and you saw yesterday we had President Kibaki, we also hope to have President Moi soon, we will have those leaders participate with us to open a number of projects in order to acknowledge their contribution to our development. Former President Moi, former President Kibaki, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, because these projects all have a bit of their input and contribution, and we need to recognize that. We need to recognize that even as we go forward. So ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to next week as we start our road for the next 50 years, learning from the lessons of the last 50 years and building upon those to make a great nation called Kenya for another 50 years. May God bless you, and thank you very much.
And now may we all be upstanding as His Excellency the President leaves at his pleasure. Thank you.